Hey everyone, it's Mike here with Play More Games, and today we're going to be starting a new playthrough series. I guess the proper word is long play, because it certainly will indeed be a long playthrough of the game. So today, hopefully, this doesn't come as a surprise, but today we're going to be playing the Dark Valley. This is the deluxe edition um, version of the module, and um, we are going to be playing the Barbarossa scenario. So, my channel, if you're not familiar, I do some unboxings recently, but typically I like to, play the games themselves. That's the name of the channel. And, the emphasis of this channel is to, hopefully play some of those games that have, just been kind of idling on the shelf. And, recording that so others can view and enjoy as well. I love watching playthrough videos. I know that probably makes me somewhat unique, but I know it can be helpful to try and decide whether I want to make a purchase or not. So, a little bit of background, and I will keep this brief before we start playing. A little bit of background about my experience with the game. I bought this game, the deluxe edition. Actually, what I should say is I bought the Dark Sands first, and I played that, and I said, wow, this is a lot of fun. Someone should do a game using this system on the Russian front. And, well, it turns out someone already had. Ted Racer already had, and I was just, it flew right over my head. So I was very happy, so I ordered it, and I played 4 turns on the table, and my great problem came to visit me, which was I left it set up, didn't touch it for a weekend, and then when I came back to it, I was like, oh, well, I don't really know what I was doing anymore, so why don't I tear it down and play something else? And that's what I ended up doing. So I definitely want to try it again, and make a considered effort to dive into the game. So right now my tentative plan is to play each of the 4 scenarios once, and then restart with Barbarossa and try for a grand campaign. So before we get into the game too much, there's a couple of shoutouts or credits that I want to do. Of course, Ted Racer, whom I have enjoyed the Dark Sands. I have the Deadly Woods. I haven't had a chance to play it yet because, as I was, I did my unboxing or unbagging, I guess, for that one, and I was moving around the pieces, and I said to myself, damn, I really want to play the East Front one. That's just the way my brain works. So, and I'm very, very eagerly looking forward to the Dark Summer, a single map treatment of the Normandy campaign. I think that goes through August, off the top of my head. So, I just checked my my notifications, and it is not shipped for me yet, but hopefully have that in the next couple weeks here. So obviously want to thank Ted and GMT for another game, but I also want to thank, let's see, I wrote down the users' names, Arrow246 and Gote, Mr. Goatington. Here we have 2 resources that I've found very, very helpful. So this is Mr. Goat's resource, and this is a full detail, turn by turn, of all the special rules. And the game itself, I mean, I don't think it's super complex, but there are a lot of rules that kind of come and go. So this definitely helps me keep track of it, because it shows when the rules start and then it shows when the rules stop. As you can see, these lines that are struck through. So I can kind of, read through this and get an idea of what's coming up ahead. And then Arrow 246, he made this, which is very nice. Sequence of play, which includes some of the special rules here. And it also, of course, runs through your sequence of play and specific rules. So that is very helpful for me to use as a rule reference. And last person I would be remiss to not shout out would be Mr. Stephen Dolgis. I hope I said that correctly. Whose great series of videos on this game partially inspired me to make my own, as well as his lovely and informative series on World in Flames and Fatal Alliances. Right now I'm about 60 hours into my first World in Flames campaign, and it's almost 42. But oh man, I am having a blast with that. I bought the deluxe edition, and even though we're playing classic this game, I have enjoyed every minute of that game. So easily a great gaming investment. So with all of that out of the way, I'm going to get us started here soon. I'm going to assume that you have at least a passing familiarity with the game. What I like to do in my videos is I will kind of explain maybe a little bit more in the first couple of videos, and then as we kind of ramp up, there will be fewer explanations and just more gameplay. Since I am a relatively inexperienced player, many of you may have looked and said, oh, well, this stack here isn't really optimized, or all of that, or, the setup would be better this way, or all of that. And, I do appreciate that, and certainly your feedback is welcome. I mean, that's kind of the downside of playing solitaire, is that you get really good at playing yourself, and you do the things that you would do against yourself, and you can try and dream up another opponent, but ultimately you're playing yourself, right? So, I mean, I guess I would say if you've stuck with me through my explanation so far, or you haven't skimmed ahead to when I start moving pieces, just be patient with me, and, if you see anything, point it out, or if, mistakes are not your thing, I guess this is your warning, because I do tend to make quite a lot of them. Most people enjoy playing against me for that reason, I would say. All right. Last thing I want to say before we get into the setup and the game situation is that while I will have to pause and maybe look up rules, I will do my very best to edit those down, so in the final product, you don't have to listen to all the stops and starts. That being said, if it's like 30 seconds, I'm just gonna leave it in. I'm only gonna cut out the really big ones, because I find myself with less time than I would like to play and record games. And if this video takes 2 hours to record, and then another 2 hours to listen back, well, I would rather spend that 2 hours listening back, playing another turn. So that's my philosophy on that. So hopefully none of those are deal breakers. If not, I'm sorry. We'll see you around. But let's take a look at the game situation. So again, we're set up for Barbarossa, and this ends at the end of turn 8. So let's go up to the turn track here, so we can see we're at the start of turn 1. The Germans enjoy the initiative for the first 4 turns, and we are going to have decent weather until September, that's when we start to get mixed. October will be mud, and then we'll turn to snow. So really, we have 3 good turns to make some decent progress. And we do have to make some decent progress because, as VP stand, we're at 14. To win the scenario, we need 30. And I think when we're playing the campaign, to continue into the campaign as the Axis, I believe you need 30 as well. Something like that. But we're not playing the campaign right now. We are just going to start the scenarios, and again, we're going to do the 41 scenario, 42 scenario, 43 scenario, and then the 44 scenario. Yeah, so obviously we're going to be examining German primacy, and then, waning German primacy, and then rough parity, and then Soviet primacy. So it's a nice look at all 4 stages of the war. So, all right. So let's zoom out just a little bit so we can see the whole situation. I imagine that this is probably pretty difficult to see, but I do want to give the sense that, yes, this is a pretty big board. We have Berlin in the west, and all the way in the east we have Stalingrad, Engels, Saratov, the Caucasus down here. Baku is off map. If you can get to it, you get, that's one of the victory conditions in the game here. So, yeah, this should be a pretty good sense of how big the game is. And another thing I want to point out, I'm going to close this here, is that for the most part, let's take us back in. A lot of our victory points are here in the south. So we have Lvov, Vinnytsia, Kiev, 3, Kirovoy Rog, 4, Odessa, 5, Dnepropetrovsk, 6, Zaporozhye, 7, Sevastopol, 8, Stalino, 9, Rostov, 10, Krasnodar, 11, I think I already counted Rostov, Stalingrad, 12, Kharkov, 13, Voronezh, 14, and then all the way over here, Soviet, Saratov and Engels, 16, right? So 16, and then just compare that to the north. You have Ventspils here in the Gulf of Riga. You have Riga. You have Vilnius, Minsk, that's 4. Vitebsk, 5. Smolensk, 6. Oral, 7. Tula, 8. Moscow, 9. Kalin, 10. Tallinn, 11. Leningrad, 12. And then way in the back here, you have Vologda, Rybinsk, Yaroslav, Ivanova, and Gorky. So technically, yes. There are more victory points if my arbitrary line is somewhere, around here in the middle of the screen. However, contrast the terrain here. It's marshy, it's forested, there's hills, there's fortifications. Even in the center, fortifications, forests, rivers, the Pripyat marshes, for goodness sake. And then contrast that to the south. Yes, you do have some river obstacles, but there's a lot of clear terrain. A lot of clear terrain. So, in my opinion, the game goes as Army Group South goes, I would think. These objectives are immediately more attainable, I think. However, that all depends on where the Soviets spend their energies. All right. So enough ado. I'm sure it's already been like a half hour. So, as you may know, we start with the Soviet, with a German combat chit. So we have that here in the module. If you push the chit cup, it is set up for the first turn. So we start with this German combat and then a German move. So let's get started. And like I said, there might be some less than optimal play. That's fine. What we want to do is focus on the playing, and then we'll set it up for next time we'll look at it again. So obviously, we're going to try and just motor through the early defenses. We want to pocket as much as possible. All of our units are going to be in supply throughout turn 1, so that's not a consideration for us. But we want to just, get moving. We want to get down the road. We want to pocket as much as possible. So we're just going to work roughly north to south. So here, and I will zoom in just a little bit further. Actually, it won't let me. So let me see if I can type it. Okay. Hopefully this is a good resolution and it does not distort the image too much. I want you guys to be able to see some detail, but, not have it look ugly. All right, so we're going to start here. West 2915. So we have a German Corps, a German Panzer Division, and a German 124, German Infantry Division. So that is 10 to the Soviet 2. So that's 5-1. So let's pull out our charts. And I've decided for turn 1, I don't really want to take anything less than a 5-1, especially, well, at least on this opening impulse here. So let's go to the CRT, and we're on combat results table A. So we know that we have a 1 in 6 chance at a loss here. No one is in supply or out of supply, so there's no modifiers. So we do run the risk of a loss, but we can take that on the German Corps if necessary. So hopefully we don't whiff this with a 1. So we get a 3, which is a DR star. So defender retreats 2 hexes, and if they have 2 or more steps, they lose a step. So this is a single step unit, so they have to retreat. We have our retreat compass over here, which shows that they need to either retreat northeast or south, or excuse me, northeast or southeast. So let's go back. Northeast 2 hexes. So let's try and end up here. Now, let's look at the rules for advanced. If hex is cleared, ignore Zoc. Now, I gotta make sure, because I think you can only take the hex. I don't think you can go beyond that. This is just one of those things that I want to, yep, it only goes into the vacated hex. So, good. Well, I suppose we'll leave them there to avoid them getting cute. All right, so then we have, well, what we could do is let's do these guys to these guys. So that is a max odds attack. And we get a 2, which is a DR, so another retreat. So we will go to where that mech core is. And again, we will move them. All right. So now we have Army Group North. It's attacking across a river. but the effects of the river are canceled on turn 1, so it's another max odds attack. Alright, so we get a 3, which is another retreat. This time we will advance to everyone. Gotta say that things are probably going all right for the Soviets so far. We haven't inflicted any losses. Let's see. Although for the Germans, we haven't taken any either, which is just as good. So here we have an infantry corps and 2 motorized units. So I guess what would be optimal if we had stacked them with panzers like we have with the SS unit here. But we didn't. So this is a 6-1. So we're going to withhold one of the mech cores so we can flex it into another attack. I think that that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So 6-1, or actually with the forest, or the woods, each panzer or tank unit -1 combat factors. Well, we have none. So that's great. So 6-1. All right. Now we are eliminating some units, which is good. All right. So defender eliminated. When I place removed, where do you go? Oh yeah, there's a box over here, isn't there? No, where did you go? Let's stack removals right now for here, because there's nothing that indicates that they shouldn't be able to come back. All right, so now we can go, let's see. We can send this panzer and this motorized against this unit here, so that's another 6-1. So that's another defender eliminated. Let's leave the panzer on top so we can see it. All right, so these 3 here will attack here, and that brings us to 6-1, with the -2 for the forest on the tank unit. So that is a DR as well, so we'll send them to the city there. And this time we will advance with everyone. All right, so then we have a max odds attack here as well, so 6-1. And that unit is eliminated as well. And we will advance. All right, so let's figure out what we're going to do with you guys. Where are you going when oh, are you going here? Yeah. That's where they're going. Okay. As long as we're not losing them, I'm just happy to know where they are. All right. So now we come to Army Group Center, where things are a little bit more difficult. So I have a panzer stack here. And actually, I am just going to swap that around because I don't like the idea of stacking all of them together. I'm not sure why I would do that. Probably seemed like a good idea when I was doing it. Okay. So we have 8-13, which is 6-1 against Grodno. There's a town. So this is actually 3. So 4, 8, 13. 13 to 3 is 4-1. So actually that becomes a 3-1. So that, ooh, we have a 50% chance of taking a loss. Mm. Alright, what we can do instead, we'll bypass Grodno. So let's attack this stack to this stack. This is a 5-1. That's a 1. Alright. Had to run to the bathroom real quick, so apologies for the choppy edit there. Alright, so they both lose 1. So we will take the loss on the infantry corps, which is regrettable, but it does make me, you know, well, it makes me second guess myself. But we can remove them as well, so we will move everyone there. So then next, let's fire off. So this is 2 factors, and we have 8, 10. Let's see if the motorized is doubled. Motorized, if they're attacking a clear hex, and that is not a clear hex. So they only have 9, so again, that's a 4-1. So let's attack there. So that's going to be, again, a 5-1. And that is another German loss. We do remove it, and we get to remove that hex, that port. No, is there a way to mark it destroyed? This appears to just be, oh, markers. Yes, there's a fort destroyed marker. All right. So then we have 8 and 9. So let's attack here. 6-1 with a 2. So since we have this unit here, the retreat gets a little, basically it's going to be eliminated. It can't go here. Here's a Zach, and even if there was some sort of exception, that's what I was just about to check, and it goes here, it's still in a Zach. So this one is removed. Now I have to check the rule about replacements. Yes, at the end of any Axis round, yes, okay. So we can absorb this some of these 2-4s to get our Zach back. If we can have them adjacent, like say at the end of the movement round. Or, if we had said, we will leave them behind and they won't advance. So do I want to do that? Sure. This is a friendly game, right? So then here we have another max odds attack, so let's go for it. So DR, again, same situation. Can't retreat there, Zoc. Can't retreat there, Zoc. But that does, you can, actually, I think now I am getting myself mixed up. So it was a pretty good run before I started to get confused. So let's just check out retreats. Okay. So yeah, that last one would have been able to retreat here and then here for 2 hexes, because friendly units do negate Zoc. So now this one will go 1 and then 2. Alright, so then here, 8. And then, actually both of those are doubled. So it's 10 plus 5 for the Panzer Division, 15 against 2, which is 7-1, so max odds. There's a fort there, so it's a 5-1. So 2 on the 5-1 is DR star. So the star means one of these are dead. And then we go 1 and 2. So hopefully we're making any subsequent breakout as tricky as possible. So we'll move them there. All right. But we don't want to get tied up attacking all of these units. Ultimately, the idea is to pocket them, but these are relatively safe attacks to make. So here we have 6, 8. So max odds attack against this unit. So let's roll it. And that is an exchange. So they lose a step, we lose a step. So let's get rid of that 2, 4. And yeah, that's where it goes. All right, so 4, 4 for the Panzers because it's in the forest. And then actually I thought there might have been a exception about the terrain there. All right, so 4, 4 and 2. It's a max odds attack, 6-1. So it's DR, 1, 2. So we'll send them back along the road towards Minsk. All right, and then we have Panzer stack here. So we're going to attack this unit here. So again, max odds. DR, 1, 2. So we'll send him across the bridge. And then here at Brest, again, max odds. This has a fort, so it's a 5-1. So these two here. So 4 on a 5-1 is we both lose 1. All right. Now we come to Army Group South. So we can concentrate these 2 Army Corps and the, let's see, the 4 here, right? So half, and we'll make it be the Slovak and the 296, so the 3 and the 1, participating with these two units here to make it a 6-1. So 6-1, 5 is defender eliminated. And that one is removed. And since there's a black dot, it is removed from the game. It is a non-replaceable unit. Okay, so now we have this one on top that can still attack. So let's see, actually, if we can. Yeah, let's go to here. So it's 4, 4, and 4 is 12. So 5-1 here. So defender eliminated. Fort is destroyed. So then here, again, 4, 4, and 4. I said that was a 5-1, right? Yeah, we rolled a 6. We got defender eliminated. Alright, here and here, same deal, 5-1. 3 on the 5-1 is DR star. So let's go 1, 2. Alright. So now let's attack. 6-1, shifted to 5-1. These two stacks here. It's another defended eliminated, so it's a pretty good, another good result there. So obviously not something the Soviets are terribly happy about. Okay. All right, down here we have these two for max odds attack. So 5-1, 5 is an exchange. Don't think we can do that, actually. We have to take the first loss there. Did I do that anywhere else? No. Okay. Well, that's good. We will advance. All right. 4, 6, 7. So max odds here, 6-1. That is a DR star. So 1, or actually there's no Zoc here, so that's fine. 1, 2. We'll move them there. All right, last attack here. So we have 6-1. Actually, yeah, we'll attack with these guys. 3 on the 6-1 is a DR star. So we can go here and then here. Remembering that this negates Zoc for purposes of retreat, so we don't have to take a loss. So we move them up. Alright, so that is our combat chip for our Barbarossa. So let's zoom out a little bit so we can see Well, we didn't make a ton of progress, right? But that is that first impulse. But let's take a look. Up here we have some traffic. And let's mark everyone as moved. Up here we have some traffic. But closer to here in the center we don't. Here we haven't really achieved our breakout. But these panzers don't really have anything. There's a mech core there, but there's some open terrain. And remembering that we are in supply for the whole turn, that is important because we can try and do some damage. Hopefully we don't dash away too far. So let's see if we want to absorb any units. There was one here that I wanted to do. Oh yes, here we go. So that unit has a Zoc back. Yeah, that was the only one that I wanted to do. Okay, so now it is the move turn. So let's see what we can do. So none of these guys have Zoc, so we're going to, actually what we're going to do is we're going to move through there because stacking is only enforced at the end. We're here, we'll take our 2 mountain units, we'll move them up, move those up. I think that we can, absorb 2 small ones. Yeah, you can absorb 2 small ones to get the Zoc back. We might do that. All right. So now this is a difficult decision. So let's start here. 1, 2. If we go there, we have to stop. 2, 3, 4. Now, how do we qualify a line of communication? Because that is important. Well, that is an obstacle. So let's go here. Actually, we're going to move those there to protect the supply depot. Okay. They can't move much. They can't move much. We've already kind of got the bottleneck that you don't want to happen. Once we get our Air Force back, which now that first turn is over, we're going to try and bombard that unit since it is in the open. Or actually, we won't be able to. Because it's less than a 1-to-1. Alright, we'll figure something out with it. Over here, however, these guys have no Zoc. So let's go like that. And this unit will protect the supply depot. But these two we are going to send. All right. All right, we're gonna absorb this one now. Just so I don't forget. Same with this guy. All right. Here, though, since we are in supply through the first turn, we are going to go, this is going to cost us 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, woods for them. There's woods for infantry 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now we have a good chunk of them pocketed. With any luck, we'll be able to not pull a logistics chit and get either the third pan. Yeah, we're gonna look for the third Panzer here. Up north here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Over here. 1, 2. There's a unit with a Zoc there. 1. Yeah, there's a unit with a Zoc there. So let's do that. There are no Zocs stopping us here, though. So let's go 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. If we do that, we take the port. They're not going to be able to get supplied. So I'll mark that for right now, since it matters. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh, yeah, want to protect that. Basically, these guys can move. I'm going to leave them there just to discourage any attacks. These guys will move there. One, two. All right. So let's take a look. We have a pocket formed. I guess these guys aren't really pocketed. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they're not. Damn. Because this unit with a Zoc can negate. So. Here, though, this unit's out of supply. Which is nice. Nice not to have to tussle with that. Oh, yeah. These units are actually out of supply. Or out of communication, I should say. Because, let's see. Or, no, they're not. No, they're not. Friendly units negate Zocs. When tracing a line of communication, there's no requirement for them to have a Zoc of their own. All right. Let's not focus on what could be or should be. Let's pull the next chit and we'll see what happens. So we did combat and move. So let's just put those there. And next, Soviet counterattack. All right. So Soviet has to make 7 counterattacks. And all right. So 7. So let's see if there's any good ones. All right. Here, if we attack with these two against this one here, let me zoom back in. It was at 125. So these two here, we can get a 3-to-1. So that's actually going to be pretty good. 3-to-1, 6, both lose 1. So I guess we lose the weaker one. Yeah, I guess that's what we do. Okay. Let's see. 7. Nope. 2 and 6, 1-to-3. No. Comrade Stalin, you're not helping. Let's take a look. On the 1-to-2, really the best we can hope for is a no effect. Can we get to 1-to-1 anywhere? Before we continue, let's see if we can get to 1-to-1. So 6, 7. Oh, there's 3 there, so 9. 9-to-9 is 1-to-1. That might be worth it. Worst thing that can happen is an AL1. Let's take that. And we get an AL1. So let's remove that. So now, yeah, we're down to 5. You know, in that case, with a 1-to-1, I mean, we're just going to end up paying the penalty anyway, so maybe we can try and force a retreat. 8. 1 to 2, where the supply depot is. That's an AL1. Which kind of helps the German cause. So we have 4 left. Actually, I couldn't make that attack because of the minimum required unit tool. So let's put that back. So we have 5 to deal with, and nothing that looks like it might be worthwhile. So let's eliminate some adjacent units. So here's here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say if we can here's a thing. If we don't make these attacks, the Axis side of my brain gets to pick what's coming off. And I'm going to pick off some things that are going to make my life easier. Really, so that's not even 1 to 2. Like, I don't want 7 to 9, 13. Actually, I guess that's 1 to 1. Yeah, I mean, let's try it because... Actually, no, we're not going to try it. Because we have our Stug gun, and that would make it bad. 1 to 2 would be bad. Alright, we're just going to let the Germans peel off some units. Some 1-4s. So we are going to... How many do we get to remove? So let's take this one. Oh, it's got a cab there. 1. 2. 3. 4. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put that there to simulate removing that one. So now all of these guys are pocketed for sure. And then we're going to remove that one. Alright, so now we have the second Panzer. And the second Panzer is here. So here are our options for a second Panzer activation. I am saying this to you as much as I am saying it to myself. So we may activate any German units in its command range, which is 3. And combat and then move, or move and then mechanized units may combat. Interesting, interesting. So I think some mechanized would be the Panzers and other motorized. So we could like move to Vilnius. So let's do let's do a combat and then move. So we can do anything within that range. Beautiful. All right. So what's going on in this hex? We have 2, and we're throwing 8. It is a city hex. Is that right? City. So mech is halved, so really, we have a 6. So 3 to 1, and then 2 to 1. So 10, 5 to 1, 4 to 1. Do we want to take a 4 to 1 for something that's out of supply anyway? Well, let's see what happens on the 4 to 1. 50% chance of a loss. Um, 50% chance of a retreat. Let's go for it. And I think we take a loss. Yeah, we do an exchange. Defender eliminated, and we lose 2 steps. So actually we lose 2 long. We take 2 steps. So questionable decision there. And then here, do we really want to make any attacks? Probably not. So we could go straight to move and send that there. If we do that, we're putting those units back in supply, so let's leave it there. All right. So let's get our next chit. Soviet move. All right. So let's start from the bottom here. And our Odessa district units cannot move. So let's pull out the chart. All right, so rough is 2. Moving over the river, minor river, is nothing. We are going to scoot back. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a nice mech core reserve here. That will be dangerous to kind of try and deal with. One, 4, 7. That's as far as I can go. 3, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, can't move anything in Odessa. One, two. Just moving some stuff in Sevastopol. Looks like we're still, we're okay here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The marsh is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see. What else? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 da. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Moving across the major is +1, so 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the front. 1, 1, 2, 3. All right. Back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. We'll keep these guys here for now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, back here. So we cannot move from Zoc to Zoc. So all of these have Zocs. Let's see. So they could go there. They could go there. They could go. Well, actually, don't have to stop there. They could go here and here. 1, 1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know that that's getting us anywhere. Ultimately. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. This guy has nowhere to go. These guys can go here. Now this fort's actually probably toasters. I guess the question becomes, do we save the units or do we hold fast? I know what Comrade Stalin would say. So we hold fast. These guys have nowhere we can go. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Send these guys towards the front. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. Alright. We may not have moved everything that we could, but I think we moved everything that we should. So let's go to the next chip. The Soviet move chip won't take so long once a line forms. Alright, 4th Panzer. 4th Panzer. Alright, so that's you guys in the north here. Those panzers are just out of range. Alright, so we've learned our lesson here. So what we are going to do, we're going to do combat, then move, and we're going to skip the combat. Hmm. Okay, what if we go 2, 3, 4. All right. That stinks. First Panzer. With around First Panzer, the situation's a little bit more optimistic because we retreated as the Soviets. So we're gonna do a move. So is it move then, or yeah, move and then mechanized units only may perform combat. So there's no guarantee that we're gonna perform combat. We are gonna move. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's mark this fort destroyed. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We really want to go running off that far. Well, maybe. But since this is my first try, we'll just stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we can mark this with a German control marker. And we are up to 15, so 15 victory points to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go 6. Alright, so then stick these guys here. Stick him there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's not going to do, but we can do a 6 to 1 here, so we will. Ugh. Exchange. Then here, 6 to 1. DR. Oh, there's a mechanized unit there. Didn't realize that, so obviously I won't do the attack. So move them to there. And it really stings about losing the Panzer step, but I think we get Panzer replacements on turn 4. Yeah, turn 4. Oh my goodness. I have totally forgotten about air. Um, that's my fault. Um, so let's see. Uh, I don't know that they would have made a huge difference, truth be told. It's for the most part, we did max odds attacks. Trying to think. Yeah, you know what? We'll just do better going forward. That's all we can really do. I'll tell you what, at the end of the turn, if I haven't done anything else with them, I will do a bombardment to try and catch up, so to speak. All right, 3rd Panzer. And that logistics jet will just refuses to come out. All right. So let's attack here, this unit. So 4-1. We have plenty here to make it 6-1. It's a DR. So we can go here for 1. But then we have nowhere else to go for 2. So this unit is removed. We're not going to attack this mech core. But we can advance, so we'll advance there. Let's see. Are we going to attack this unit here? Yes, we will, since it will be 6-1. And that is a defender eliminated. Yep. All right. So now those are the combats, so now we can move the others. So go there. One, two, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. And actually, if we're treating swamps as forests, we can get there as well. That's no problem. So now we have a nice little pocket here, and we're on our way to Minsk. These guys can move as well. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now I think that is our last chat. So now we have logistics. So before we do logistics, I am going to use my artillery, and we're gonna just do some bombards. All right. So let's do here. So that's a 4-1. So 2 is nothing. We won't bother flipping it since it'll just flip right back. We have 2 planes here. Air bombardment in the city. 4-1. Are there any modifiers? City. Mech halved, 1 shift. So I guess it would be a 2-1. So it's still 50% chance. So we'll use the 8th Army with the plus. Oh, that's only for combat bombardment. So we do get lucky, and we do get it. So we remove. So then we have the one with the +1. And let's try this one in the hill hex here. That one's removed as well. All right, then we have Radom. So let's try this one here. Nope. All right, we'll try that same one again. Actually, let's try this 2-1 here since it's in the forest. We still get a 50% chance, which we nail. Okay. So we do get caught up a little bit, so that's good. So let's get out our isolated markers, because now we're in logistics. So let's look for anyone that might be isolated. I think we're okay down here in the south. This guy is isolated, and since attrition is coming right up, I'll just eliminate him. We won't bother with the token. All right, these units are isolated. I don't know where that mark went, so these units are isolated as well. And these units are not isolated. By virtue, this one of the port getting supply, and these by virtue of this mech with the Zoc. So this unit is out of supply or isolated, and it's solitary, so we will remove as well. All right, so now we will roll for these two, because I'm pretty sure the next thing is going to be the attrition phase. Yes. So actually the first thing we do is we advance our depots, which could, potentially. So let's see, what do we roll? We roll a 1. So we can advance at 4 hexes. So it has to stay on the rail. 1, 2, 3. Can they go further? I mean, I guess we could go further. Yeah, it's not really at any risk if we move it there. Since we haven't taken it yet, we're just going to mark that with Soviet control. All right. Where's our supply depot? Here. Actually, we're going to send this one north. So we're going to want to have that one for north, and then maybe this one for center, and then 2 for the south. Okay. So then this one can go up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one, again, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So any cities that we've captured west of the slowest depot can be used as a supply source. So that means that Lvov, which we captured, can be used as a supply source. So units that are within 3 hexes 7 hexes to a rail supply source. All units within 7 hexes of Lvov are in supply. All units 7 hexes from Faunus are in supply. So it's definitely very helpful. They're in supply. They're in supply. Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're in supply. Yeah. Okay. So then we roll isolation. So we'll roll for this pocket here, this group of 4. And we get lucky for the Germans, and they are all removed. And then we have this pocket here, and 1 is eliminated, so we will eliminate that one. Okay. So victory check, no victory yet. We're going to advance the turn marker to turn 2, and let's rebuild the chit cup. So to do this, we're just going to reference our action chits. So let's see, we put in the 2 move combats, and we leave out the combat in move. And we put all the others back in. So we're going to pull 3rd and 4th Panzer twice. And for the Soviets, 1 move, 1 counterattack. All right. So we are all set up for turn 2's reinforcements. And that is a definitive stopping point. So we are all the way through turn 1, and I've been going for almost 2 hours now, so maybe a little longer. So I'm going to keep my thoughts brief. We have learned a lot about planning out your Barbarossa and timing the sequencing of movements to pocket as many as possible. Obviously, we have a nice little spearhead going down into here. Soviet units in full flight in the south, looking for the rivers for defenses. The Odessa will open up as an opportunity for us if we can find a way to make it work. I gotta remember to use air because I think we left quite a few options on the board. You know, a couple instances where we can make 4-to-1s, 5-to-1s. But, you know, for the Soviets, I'm probably pretty happy with this. Baltic didn't get much going. Actually, these 3 are out. Okay, that's my misunderstanding. Because friendly units cancel ZOC for communication. Yeah, friendly units. Friendly units negate enemy ZOCs when tracing a lock. Okay. So it's friendly units, not friendly ZOCs. So, these 3. So let's roll for them and see what happens. So we lose 2. I guess we'll lose those 2. Alright. Well, if I'm the German, that makes me feel a little bit better. I am the German. I am also the Soviet. So that also makes me feel a little bit worse. But not much. Alright. So turn 2. Coming at you probably tomorrow or day after. If you happen to watch this before then and notice anything that maybe I've missed, Let me know if you've made it this far. I really do appreciate you watching. Once again, name is Mike. Name of the channel is Play More Games. Have a great day.